Okay, so now let's proceed with the PowerShell commands. I'll share my screen again. And now we do have, I need you to confirm. Okay, yeah. So I have my Windows PowerShell here, and I've been able to connect to the Exchange Online module. So the next thing I'll do is to get my PowerShell command. So the first PowerShell command we're going to run is I'll need to let me paste that. Let me paste it here so you see what we have. So good. Here you have set hosted connection filter policy identity. That's the default. Then you have the IP allow list. Then you have the IP block list. Now, let's take note of something here. For the IP allow list, you can see we do have single IP addresses. But for the IP block list, right? For the IP block list, you have we have the IP address CIDRIP that has a valid subnet max value of 23. Then you also have the one of 24, right? So now, okay, no, it's 25 and 24, 25 and 24. So we could have an IP range. Let's say I want to add an IP range of from 192.168.0.254.1 to 192.168.0.254. Yeah. So now what this partial command will do is that it's going to erase what we have. So if you have an existing IP in your allowed list or in your block list, this would erase what you have there and add this one to it. That's what it's going to do. But because we do already have two existing IPs, both in our allowed list and in our block list, instead of using this PowerShell command, the only time you should use this particular PowerShell command is if it's your first time of adding the IP addresses, right? If it's your first time, you can run this PowerShell command. Otherwise, if you already have IPs that have been added either to the allowed list or to the block list, then the PowerShell command that you should run is this one. I'm going to share that with you now. This is the one you should run. So let's say, yeah, I want you to compare both. Can you see? We do have the add, and you can see the remove. So that means you're adding this 1, 2, 3 to the existing IPs that you do already have, and you're removing. So if you're removing this, that would mean that this 192.168.1.10 is what you have there and you're removing it. But in our own case, we don't want to remove the IP. Rather, what we want to do is add, right? We want to add these three IPs. You can see they all fall into the three different categories of IP: single IP, the IP range, and the last one. So we're just going to do this and you'd see the results. Don't forget, we tried to add the IP directly from the Microsoft Defender portal, but we're not able to. So when we run this PowerShell command, you would see that we do have this IP added. So I'll just move my cursor, then hit enter. Good. So this has added 1, 2, 3 to the IP allowed list. So let's go back to our Defender portal. Just refresh from the top left. Refresh from the top left and go back again to email and collaboration. You have policies and rules, thread policies, anti-spam, connection filter policy, and you see now this was the old one. This was the one that was there before. It has added this and this. Beautiful. So this is how you use the PowerShell command to add IPs to your allowed list, either to your allowed list or to your block. So let's do another one for the block list. Since we've added to the allowed list, let's do a last example for the block list. So I'll go back to my Windows PowerShell, just paste again. Remember, you're not removing, rather you're adding, right? We're adding. This is how you add. So now to my instead of having IP allow list, so it's going to be block list, right? Now take note that if you have the same IP both in your allowed list and your blocked list, what happens? The allowed list, the IP address that you have in your allowed list will take precedence, right? It's going to take precedence over the IP address that you have in your block list. You know, in other words, you're having the same IP in the allowed list, you're having the same IP in the block list. What happens? The IP address, it's not going to get blocked, right? Rather, it's going to be seen as a IP, as an allowed IP, because the IP allow list actually takes precedence over the IP block. So you need to be careful when you're adding those IP addresses. Don't add IP that you're supposed to block. Don't go and add it in the allowed list. If not, the mails will skip spam filtering and get delivered. So now we need to change these IP addresses. So instead of having 2.10, we could have 15. Okay, we could have 50. Then where you have this IP range of 24, let's have 25, right? Let's have 25 to 5. Yeah. Then for this range, let's have from 1 to 16. From 1 to 16. Yeah. So these are the IPs I'm adding to the block list. So all you need to do next is hit enter. And that's also go back again to your Office 365. Oh, so that means when I was sharing my screen, you didn't see that part where the IPs that I've added to the allow list are now showing. So let me share that screen. Let me share that screen with you. That'll be my Defender portal screen. Let's go here. Okay, here. This was what I showed earlier. So you can see the IP allowed list has been added. Those IPs have been added to the IP allowed list. So the next thing, we want to see the block list. So you need to refresh again. And let's check the connection filter policy. So you can see the block list. we have the IP addresses added already. So for the saved list, it's not compulsory that you turn it off or you turn it off, you turn it on or off. Either ways, it's Microsoft that uh, manages that themselves, right? So you don't need to, you can choose to leave it on, you can choose to leave it off. So I think that will be all for today. Then in my next video, I'm going to show you how to get the IP addresses from the message header in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching, and do have a great rest of your day.